Greetings, Professor Dean and classmates. My name is Charles Hodge, and today I will be presenting my integrated thematic unit, which is on the topic of contributions of minorities in American history. It is based on the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills 110.11, which reads, students will analyze, make inferences, and draw conclusions about the author's purpose in cultural, historical, and contemporary context, and provide evidence from the text to support their understanding. Students are expected to identify the topic and explain the author's purpose in writing about the text. And my web graphic will look like this. In the middle, we'll have the contributions of minorities, and we will have 4 subtopics, which will be from the fields of sports, science, politics, and the media. We will have 12 characters or persons of interest that we will read about in our literature. The literature resources will range from Oprah Winfrey to Jerry Yang to Jim Thorpe. We will also have a variety of different instructional activities, which will be role-playing, compare and contrast. For example, we'll have an assignment with Madam C.J. Walker and Oprah Winfrey, and I'm going to have my students compare and contrast their path to prominence, how they were successful, different keys to what made them successful, made them the people they were. We will have 2 full lessons and 1 mini lesson that will go throughout the entire year. The first lesson will be a Hall of Fame activity. Basically, the students will choose 3 characters from the 12 pieces that we have read throughout the 4-week period. They'll develop a presentation inducting each of the 3 characters into the Hall of Fame for their respective field. Contributions in sports, politics, science, and the media. The student will be divided into groups of 2 to 4. The student will provide important facts which will support the enshrinement of each of the 3 characters. The students will provide illustrations via the internet or magazines and develop a poster board to spotlight each of the inductees. The students will also write an acceptance speech no more than 2 paragraphs for each honoree. The second lesson will be based on theme. The students will read a story about Satchel Paige and Jim Thorpe. And basically what they will do is they will read these 2 picture books, and we will start a discussion about the theme of each piece of literature. In the discussion, I'll have my students identify the theme of each story, discuss the cultural and historical relevance, and analyze one of the main characters. My students will be required to write a brief summary. It'll be no more than 3 paragraphs for each story, and explain the theme, explain what it means to them personally. Students will also be required to draw a picture of their favorite character in each of these stories and present it along with their summary in front of the class. And then the mini lesson I have, it's more or less kind of an enrichment lesson, kind of bridge the gap. If we have 2 to 3 minutes left in class, the class is about to let out. This is kind of to initiate the students' recollection of the previous class meeting and what we're kind of learning about, what we're learning about. The objective of this mini lesson is for the students to learn more about the contributions of different cultures in society. They'll be required to give their personal opinion about each character that they've read about during class time or for homework. At the end of each class, again, 2 to 3 minutes, they'll be required to write in a journal, which will include their personal opinions, any new information they might have learned, and if their attitude changed about a person or a certain situation, they'll need to document it in their journal. At the end of this activity, at the end of the semester actually, or the end of the year, I'll require each of my students to present one of their entries to the class, kind of explaining why they wrote what they had written, to kind of show their feelings, to let their classmates and their peers inside to what's inside of their head. I'll assess the students by checking to see how thoughtful they were, their genuineness in their writing, as well as spelling and grammar. That is my integrated thematic unit. Thank you very much, and have a